Hello everyone and welcome into the very first video on my sports channel. It's very good to have all of you here. In this video we're running down your last second picks for week 1 of the NFL season. And just so you know, I picked the Eagles and Chiefs game correctly. Just take my word for it. Starting with the Patriots and the Raiders. The Patriots are favorites at -2.5 points. Now call me wacky, call me crazy. I think that the Raiders are going to pull this one out. I think the difference in this game is that Geno Smith has more experience as a veteran quarterback than Drake May. And that's going to lead to the Raiders possibly winning this game. I really do think the Patriots are going to end up being a really good team under Vrabel, but they're going to need a little bit more time to get that going in game 1. Give me the Raiders at +2.5. Our next game is the Steelers versus the Jets, and I'm going to take the Steelers at -2.5 in this one. This is Aaron Rodgers' revenge game. Now both teams have pretty decent defenses. I think the Steelers have a little bit of an edge in that category though, and I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to function better in a Steelers team that is a little bit more functional than the Jets team that is very dysfunctional for quarterbacks at times, and I just don't trust Justin Fields enough to get the win for the Jets. Give me the Steelers at -2.5. Now the Dolphins and Colts is a really interesting matchup. I don't know why the Colts are favored at -1.5. I'm one of the people who thinks that the Colts are going to be competing for the first draft pick of next year's draft. So I have no idea why they're favored in this matchup. And the Dolphins, as long as Tua doesn't get another concussion, probably going to pull this one out. So I'm taking the Dolphins at +1.5 in this game. The next matchup is a trap game. The Bengals versus the Browns. And the Bengals are favored by 5.5 points. This is a trap because the Bengals offense is so great. You think they're going to score a ton of points. You think they're going to smash the Browns because it's the Browns, right? But the Browns with Joe Flacco under center and Jerome Ford in the backfield in this game are actually looking like they could be a slightly decent team. And with how bad that Bengals defense is, I just cannot take 5.5 points on the spread, especially with the Bengals starting 3 of the last 4 seasons really slowly. Give me the Browns +5.5 points for this game. And I dare say, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, I think the Browns may pull off an upset this week. If it happens, you'll see me here next week gloating about it. If it doesn't happen, then you never heard me say anything. Moving on, we have the New York Giants versus the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders coming off of that amazing season last year with rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. It's going to be pretty hard for him to replicate what he did last year and do that same amount again in his sophomore year. People are calling for a sophomore slump, but look, I'm here in Denver and I watched Russell Wilson for way too long, okay? This wasn't the Russell Wilson of Seattle who used to torch my Arizona Cardinals where I'm from, who would do passes while he was spinning and flipping on the ground and then beat us and make me cry. The Russell Wilson I saw here in Denver could never get his team to score more than 16 points on average, and I just do not see the Giants being any better than scoring 16 points average per game, just like when he was with the Broncos and just like what he did with the Steelers last year. I think when Jackson Dart comes in, they have the potential to end up booming a little bit, but that's not going to happen this week, and I'm actually thinking that the Washington Commanders are going to win by at least 7 points. So give me the Washington Commanders at -5.5. Panthers Jaguars. The Jaguars are favored at -3.5 in this game. Now guys, let's call it like we see it. The Panthers are probably going to be the worst team in the NFL again this year. And they just traded away Thielen for some reason, who was their best receiver last season. And now he's back in Minnesota. So now they're going to have some guys step up a little bit more. Looking at you, Bryce Young. And even though I can't exaggerate this enough, the Jaguars had a pretty rough season last year. I still take them -3.5 all day in this game. If Trevor Lawrence plays even a halfway decent game, the Jaguars are going to win, okay? And if they only win by 3, then they should be ashamed of themselves this week. Give me the Jags in the spread, -3.5. The next game is the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I'm actually really looking forward to this game. The Buccaneers are only favored at -1.5 points right now, and that must be due to the Chris Godwin injury and other issues like that they're facing. But I have Baker Mayfield on one of my fantasy teams and Egbuka on another one of my fantasy teams, so you better believe that I'm hoping they're going to air raid this thing and absolutely smash the Falcons. I also don't think the Falcons have proved in any way why they'd be only a +1.5 in this game. Give me Tampa Bay -1.5 all day and twice on Sunday. Now we move to my Arizona Cardinals up against the New Orleans Saints. Look, the Arizona Cardinals are favored -6.5 in this game. That is an entire touchdown, people. And most of the time I would be a little bit wary of going for a spread that big, especially as a Cardinals fan who's been hurt way too many times. But the quarterback opposite of Kyler Murray in this game is Spencer Rattler, and I believe 0% in Spencer Rattler, even though Alvin Kamara is on the other side, and he is on one of my fantasy teams, and I'm hoping he absolutely goes off. Spencer Rattler alone is the reason why I'm taking the Cardinals -6.5 in this game. The Cardinals have boosted their defense this year with guys like Calais Campbell coming back to bolster the D-line, and Josh Sweat as well. They also picked up a few guys in the draft that I think are going to help out big time. I'm calling my shot, people. The Cardinals defense is going going to be a sleeper defense this year. Give me the Cardinals at -6.5, and Kyler Murray, if you let me down again, so help me. The next game we have is another NFC West matchup between the 49ers and the Seahawks. The 49ers are favored at -1.5 in this game, and I really, again, I'm going to say this again, I do not know why the 49ers are only favored at -1.5. Could it be that they have absolutely zero depth, and if anybody at all gets injured, they are absolutely screwed? I'm looking at you, Brock Purdy and George Kittle. I'm calling it here. If Brock Purdy plays an average game, the 49ers are going to absolutely roll over the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker on the other side is an absolute beast, don't get me wrong, but I do not think it is enough to overcome the 49ers, even though their defense has been looking a little bit shaky in the preseason. But hey, that was the preseason, and we can't judge off of that. This is week 1, and you know, I'm going to take some bold guesses. I think the 49ers are rolling this one easily. 1.5 points is a real easy pick for me. I'm taking the 49ers. Up next, we have the Broncos versus the Titans, and the Broncos have one of the largest spreads. Actually, let me take a look here. The Broncos have the largest spread this week with a -8.5. I live in this area, and a lot of my family really like the Broncos, so I like them too, okay? Let me tell you that they've been hyped way too much this offseason. And whenever a team gets that much hype, there's only two things that can happen. They're either going to meet that hype perfectly, or they're going to faceplant themselves so hard that they have a broken nose. Now, I do think the Broncos are going to be better this year. I think they're going to have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think that Bo Nix is going to have a good second season, and I think that they're going to win a lot of games. But I'm a little bit wary about the -8.5. I don't know how Cam Ward's going to play on the field in week 1. What's he going to do? Are they going to look good? Is he going to get the ball to Calvin Ridley? What's going to happen? Will the Broncos offense be able to get going quickly in the game, or will they putter out a little bit and then take some time to get going? They looked a little shaky in the preseason, like they had a little bit of rust to shake off. How long will it take to get that rust to fully shake off in game 1? So I'm actually taking the Titans in the spread in this one, +8.5 points, but I do think the Broncos are going to pull out the win. Another afternoon time slot game. We have a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored at -1.5. This is a coin flip, guys. I really have no idea who's going to win this game, but my gut is telling me it's still going to be the Lions. Even though the Green Bay Packers just added Micah Parsons from that horrible Cowboys trade, the Lions just seem like a more cohesive, more powerful team coming into week 1 of the season. And do I think the Packers could be great and potentially win the NFC Championship? Absolutely. Even if they lose this game, I think they could absolutely still go win the NFC Championship. I do think the Lions are going to take this one, though, and for that reason, I'm going to take the Lions at +1.5 in this game. I could be completely wrong on this game, though. I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, we have the Rams at -3.5 over the Texans, and let me tell you guys, I think that Vegas got this one completely wrong. I think it should be the Texans -3.5, and I think this is an easy pick of Texans +3.5 in this game. If Matthew Stafford even gets burped on in this game, his back is going to break into 2 pieces, okay? If there is any sort of pass rush from this pretty good Texans defense, Matthew Stafford is going to be running for his life. The problem is that he runs at the slowest speed of any quarterback in the NFL because his back doesn't work anymore. CJ Stroud just needs to get that ball to Nico Collins a few times in this game, and we're going to be able to say signed, sealed, delivered, Texans win. Give me the Texans at +3.5. Sunday Night Football, Ravens versus the Bills. This game is another coin flip because we've seen them in the playoffs, and you never know what's going to happen. You really have no clue who is going to win this game. But one thing I can say is that Bills secondary is getting so old, they could almost be in nursing homes by this point. But I also have no idea what to expect from any of the receivers on the Baltimore side of the football. If the Bills defense can hit Derrick Henry at the line of scrimmage and prevent him from getting momentum downhill so that he can stiff arm the crap out of these guys, they might have some success and be able to contain this very run-heavy Baltimore Ravens offense. But I am not betting against Josh Allen after he just got married to Haley Steinfeld, and this is the first game he's played since that. Josh Allen's absolutely going to ball out in this game, and unless his receivers pull a CD Lamb, give me the Bills all day in this one. Give me the Bills in this game at +1.5 points, and I'm going to take the over all day on this one. And last but only semi-least, because the Bears are involved, we have the Vikings versus the Bears on Monday Night Football, with the Vikings being a 1.5 point favorite. It's a battle of J.J. McCarthy on the Vikings side versus Caleb Williams on the Bears side. And while we've seen a sample size of Caleb Williams with his rookie season, I don't know if that's enough for me to believe that Caleb Williams can beat the Vikings. And even though I haven't seen any J.J. McCarthy in the NFL, I just have to believe that he might be be a better decision maker than Caleb Williams. All he has to be is a good game manager in this one and do what his coach says, and if they get a good game plan going for him, I think they'll find success. They have Justin Jefferson, they just got Thielen back. I think that they're going to win this game. I've been given no reason to believe that the Bears are going to win this game, and I think the spread's pretty generous right now, so give me the Vikings at -1.5. Of course, let me know how right you think my picks are in the comments below, or how stupid my picks are in the comments below, and we can have a nice little chat about it down there. Also subscribe because, well, this is my first video. It is not my last video on my sports channel. I intend to upload videos all year long about the NFL. Heck, I might upload some videos about other sports too if this goes well. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to my main channel right here as well, where I do commentary videos. Thank you so much for hopping into the very first rapid fire last second NFL picks for the week. Everyone get a pizza and enjoy week 1 of the NFL season. Until my next video, go Cardinals.